I found myself in a new city for work, traveling again. Oh yeah, the things that I do for money. Well, can you guess the city I am in? That's not a good view, is it? Well, what about now? Yeah, you got it right. The home of the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, cable cars, tech, and money. Well, that makes sense why you would find me here. Well, mine is Alcatraz. I don't have anything to do with that. I'm way too feminine and elegant. So we've checked in, got into the fancy elevator. Let's head to the room. I'm dying to give you guys a tour. Here's the room. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. This is not your typical travel with me vlog. It is specifically a travel to work with me vlog. Ladies, there is a difference. Often, I come to San Francisco about 2 to 5 times a year for work. This is not only a Femininity channel, it is a Femininity and self-improvement channel. So because of that, we are improving ourselves overall as feminine beings. We are focused on our finances, on making profit wherever we are, wherever we go, whether that is for work, travel, and so on and forth. So this is a great way for me to show you what I do for work and how I make my profit. But first, let me give you a tour. Enough of the too serious talks, but we will dive a little deeper. Look at this gorgeous bathroom, by the way. I love marble bathrooms. My next place, I want a bathroom with marble and things like this. Let's go check out the view. Ladies, whenever I'm traveling, I always ask the hotel to give me a well-lit room. You know why? Because I need sunlight. And a little secret is, wear pink when you're traveling. I get the most upgrades when I'm traveling, whether it is flight or hotel and whatever, because of the pink that I wear. It's like it's screaming femininity, gentleness, softness. So you will of course need to be accommodated with rooms that also scream gentleness to match your style. People are less likely to say no to a well-dressed feminine lady who is polite in pink. For sure. Instead of coming across as pestering, when you want a room upgrade, simply ask, may I have a quiet, spacious room with lots of sunlight? That covers all the possibilities of an upgraded room. I am hungry. Let's unpack and find something to eat, shall we? Ladies, I couldn't even finish unpacking because I am starving. So let's just put our wallet in a smaller bag and go find something to eat. I don't know what I think, but I get so hangry sometimes and I forget that I get hangry, so excuse the long face. Let's go. Room service closes in the middle of the day when they're doing their menu switch at this hotel. So the front desk did recommend a really good Italian restaurant. Honestly, I don't love Italian food because of the carbs, but these gnocchis were amazing. I have a funny story to tell you guys about gnocchi later. I'll just tell you now. By the way, this gnocchi was delicious. I don't drink alcohol, but I'll just order some juice, probably sparkling though. So anyway, I was meeting this guy's family about a decade ago, this guy I was dating, and I speak many languages, so I take pride in being cultured, right? But I never had gnocchi, and so the cousin of this guy, one moment, let me tell you about this lobby of this hotel. It's so beautiful. Oftentimes, I just came here and lounged when I could during my stay here. It's so beautiful. But let's get back to the hotel and let me finish up the story about the gnocchi. So I was meeting this guy's family and I wanted them to see how cultured I was, but I also was really young. I was like 20 or 21, so I didn't know or have a lot of experiences in life. So anyway, the guy I'm dating's cousin, well, to give a background story, the guy I was dating came from a really lively family. I come from a family of people who are really calm and quiet. The only person who was really loud or lively was my mother when she was yelling at us. So I always attributed a lively voice or a raised voice to someone, being in trouble. So anyway, the cousin of the guy I was dating goes, Krista. And mind you, I don't know these people. I just met them that day. Or I think maybe the second time I'm meeting them, the whole family. But for context, I'm just meeting this cousin that day. So he goes, Krista. So I'm thinking, oh my God, what is he going to ask me? Why is he saying my name like that? But I just calmly replied, yes. And he goes, pass me the gnocchi. And ladies, I didn't know what a gnocchi was. So I stare at him, I pause, I take a deep breath, and I reach over, picked up the salt, and hand it to him. And he looks at me, but he's actually really gentle about it. He's actually my favorite cousin of this guy. They're twins, so he's like my favorite one. But anyway, I'm not dating the guy anymore, and hopefully they don't watch this video. But anyway, so he goes, no, that's not the gnocchi. And I don't think he wanted to embarrass me. I think that's why he didn't tell me what the gnocchi was. He wanted me to figure it out because I already picked up the salt and I already looked so embarrassed anyway. So I take another deep breath as I'm reaching over to hand him my fork. He politely pointed to the gnocchi. So I handed it to him and I was so embarrassed, but I really liked how he handled it and he was so calm about it and he said thank you. So whenever I'm dining with friends, acquaintances, or family and someone asks for the gnocchi, I almost always get embarrassed, but I also giggle a little bit because it's a little funny too. Back to the vlog. I'm back at the hotel. Let's take a nice warm shower. Hi ladies, I just unpacked. You guys saw me unpack a little bit and I'm just realizing that, ladies, I am exhausted. I don't know, you can tell by like my ashy lips but I just want to rest. So I would love to tell you guys that, I'm doing something really fun, but honestly I think I'm just gonna prepare. I've already set up the bathroom like how I usually set it up, but I am so tired that I didn't even order flowers. I didn't order groceries. I'll probably pick it up on the way from work tomorrow or to work tomorrow. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I should go on a walk. No, I'm tired. Anyway, I set up the bathroom like I usually do and I realized that I have such a cute little setup here. I moved some things around but I kind of want to, instead of doing my makeup in the bathroom is nice, but it just feels, there's no fresh sunlight, right? So I figured maybe I should do my makeup right here. So I have a cute little tea set up. It's a high table. I have a beautiful, gorgeous view. I can just have my tea and just do my makeup, Let me see if I can show you guys the view. Naps really help me get centered, especially when I am exhausted like right now. Later on in the evening when I woke up, I was hungry, so I ordered a burger. Ooh, Of course, I fell asleep afterwards and slept until like 5 a.m. And when I woke up, I realized that I couldn't go back to sleep. So I just did some work online and then I realized that I need to prepare for the day. Today is work day number 1. So I just decided to go get breakfast downstairs right after I do some work. So I will be also taking you ladies with me. And especially when you're busy traveling, make sure you hydrate. So I got breakfast and enjoyed the breakfast, took some leftovers for lunch, took a shower, and I'm getting ready to do my makeup now and head for my walk. I usually go to the gym, but ladies, I've been exhausted. Luckily, my hotel is 15 to 20 minutes of a walk away, so I definitely get my steps in.
Donne-moi ton cœur, baby, ton corps, baby. Donne-moi ton bon vieux funk, ton rock, baby, ta soul,
I've had a long day, but it's over, so let's take a shower. And actually, a girlfriend of mine invited me out for dinner yesterday, and we decided to stay up until like midnight, and my bedtime is 9 p.m. So I'm definitely feeling it this morning. I'm so exhausted, but it's the last day of the convention, so I'm excited to go home after work. In the meantime, I'm just going to have some tea before heading down for breakfast, and I also just want to enjoy this view for one last time. I've been really emphasizing taking life in a really slow manner lately and just giving myself grace and a slow pace. When I'm busy, but when I have a moment of softness during that busyness, I would take it. I encourage you to take that moment for yourself as well. You deserve it. Alright ladies, I'm gonna do my makeup with you today. I only have about 15 to 20 minutes, I think. 10 séries, ma un minuteur de 20 minutes. I'm getting ready for work. I don't know, I'm not feeling sick. I think I'm just exhausted. I don't know, and I usually don't get the feeling of exhaustion, but because of that, I'm gonna take things a little bit slow today. And let's have a chit chat. So the first thing I want to talk to us about is, ladies, remember that your thoughts shape your reality. I never really understood this until every time I think I understand this, something happens to me that makes me realize I got it, but I never really understood the magnitude of when people say your thoughts shape your reality. It's the craziest thing, ladies. Just remember, especially as a feminine being, your thoughts shape your reality. Why? Because you are a creator. You are a natural born creator. We're all natural born creators, men and women. And as a feminine being, your womb space, your body was created and designed to shape reality. Not only your reality, but someone else's reality. Not during this work trip, but I can't remember where I was. Where was I? The nice hotel. I think I was in Chicago last week or 2 weeks ago. But anyway, I was in Chicago and I was just traveling for work, and for breakfast, I went, I had a nice morning. Anyway, I was sitting at breakfast and I was listening to this mother chat with her daughter, probably like 5 or 6 years old, give or take. And we're in the hotel and we have a nice view of other really tall skyscrapers. Those of you who don't know, Chicago is almost like New York. It has really, really tall buildings. I would even say there's more spaced out and bigger. But anyway, forgive me, I keep checking my watch. I really don't want to be late today. Well, I'm never late, but I specifically don't want to be late today. But anyway, so the daughter is like, oh my god, mommy, those buildings are so tall. And the mom was like, oh yeah, imagine living inside of them. And then the daughter was like, yeah, that would be so nice. And then the mom says, yeah, but how would you get groceries up there? It would be so tedious. It would be so difficult. She didn't say tedious, of course, because she was talking to a young kid. I mean, not some kids understand what tedious means, but she didn't say tedious. She said, yeah, it would be so difficult to get groceries up there. Imagine if you lived on the top floor. And then so I thought to myself, of course these people are aware of elevator. We were staying at a luxurious hotel that had an elevator. Maybe it wasn't like luxurious, but it was a nice hotel, right? It wasn't like, I don't know, St. Regis or Four Seasons or the Ritz. I don't know. These are just my specific favorites, the ones that I'm listing currently. But I mean, there are also other nicer hotel that I don't know, that I haven't yet been, that are ultra luxury, that will be someday in my life. But anyway, so the mom was telling the daughter this, and the daughter was like, oh yeah, never mind, it's maybe not that nice anymore. And so I thought to myself, Now, I haven't lived the most luxurious life, but I've traveled a bit for work. You guys see my work, you guys see, you know, I don't know, a glimpse of my life, right? And I thought, when you live in, and I've lived in an ultra luxury building before. My building currently that I live in is not ultra luxurious, but it does have like elevators and so. But I've lived in buildings where your doorman, once you arrive home, you any bags with you, your doorman will be like, "Miss, would you like me to take this with up for you? I have this sent up by the doorman for you." The bell desk. And this is not a hotel, this is a home where I lived, right? And so I thought to myself, what about the doorman? Oh, what if you don't have doorman, right? What about the elevator? What would be so tedious about getting in an elevator and going to the top floor with your groceries, or just getting it delivered, right? But anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that, ladies, when the mom said that, it shocked me because it made me understand and realize the limiting beliefs that we have, especially as women. That not only can we project or keep and hold onto ourselves, but we can also project them onto the people we love. And we specifically have a big ability to do that because we are natural born creators, because we can create humans, we can create humanity, right? And so it got me thinking about the types of negative beliefs that were projected onto me as a child, you know. Sometimes people would tell me, you don't have to, you know, wear these fancy things. You were only going to like this simple place, or why do you have to wear these silk pajamas to bed? No one's looking at you, you know. Or people would just try to down me. I remember one time I was in New York, really young, probably 19 years old when I first moved to New York. I don't live in New York anymore, but I remember I went out with someone, and then they told me, we were walking by this really, like, it wasn't even like ultra, it wasn't Nobu or anything, it wasn't like, I don't know, Michelin star or nothing. It was just in like Dumbo, and it had like the carousel, I had a view of the water. It was nice. Maybe like per person, an appetizer the most could be like $20-$40, right? The restaurant was nice, and I never experienced that, anything like that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you, 19 years old. And so I remember thinking though, or maybe I have, but I don't remember. And so I never experienced that restaurant before. I've never been there in New York. I saw the water, I saw the carousel, and I thought, wow, it's beautiful. And I remember my date telling me, yeah, it's really nice, but it's only for the ultra rich. And I was like, well, and I remember at that time, my father had just given me some money to like do something that I needed to do. And like, not a lot of money, but for a 19-year-old, like a couple thousands, right? And so, but it was for something specific. But so I was thinking, what would make this is like one dish, I don't know, $5,000. What would make this restaurant so ultra nice, right? And then fast forward in my life, into my normal life now, I would say, oh my God, I'm hungry. Let me go take it. Like yesterday, I finished working at a conference, and I thought, oh my God, I'm starving a little bit. Let me just go to Fogo de Chao, which is like a Brazilian steakhouse, and let me just go and eat something there. And I had steak, lamb chops, so on and forth. And I was just thinking, had I walked past that restaurant and thought, oh no, only the ultra rich will experience this, what makes this experience? Even if I didn't have the money, why can't I go and have a $20 appetizer? Why can't I go and see if there's happy hour? And maybe happy hour has $12 appetizers. Why can't I just go in there, have some water, and maybe like, I don't know, a simple something, and experience that, right? And so I realized that, ladies, it's so important to be mindful of, because we're surrounded in a world of creators. God created us in his image, and God is our big creator, the ultimate creator, but he's made us little creators as well. So when someone has created a reality for themselves that is not accurate, they might want to also project it onto you or pull you into this nightmare of a reality. Don't let them. One second, let me do my eyeliner. Oh, I think I can still see you guys. Okay, I'll talk. You just won't see my eye. So, ladies, remember that your thoughts shape your reality. And even fast forward, now I travel for work. There was a part of my life where I thought, oh my God, if I can't be a pilot right now, what am I gonna do for work? How am I gonna get to travel for work? Now I literally get traveled out, sent out by companies for me to stand there and smile at people and interact with event attendees. Okay? And they pay for my flight, my hotel, per diem, you name it. So I'm only telling you this, I'm not saying this to brag, but ladies, I'm only telling you this to tell you, Barnacle, look what I did. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. But anyway, ladies, please, please, please be mindful of the reality that people are projecting onto you and what that you are projecting onto others, especially that you are feminine, the mother creator. Okay? And if you have children, if you don't know, or life happens where your limiting beliefs will start kicking in, your limiting beliefs will start letting you think that some things are impossible. I feel those feelings too. Excuse me, I feel these feelings too. Sometimes, or often, very rarely now, because I read so much and I'm so intentional about like how I let my mind think. And ladies, I'm doing this mental detox, but I'm not supposed to talk about it. When I complete it in about a week, I would love to chat with you guys about it. But anyway, ladies, it's so important that you are truly, seriously mindful of what you're allowing your mind to think and what you're allowing that mind to convince others to think. Others who are green, others who are innocent in a way, others who don't understand that their thoughts and what they believe in and what they strive towards, how they are in their life, will shape their reality. Every decision, not only does your thoughts create your reality, but every single decision that you make also does. Okay, ladies? So just be truly, truly mindful of that. Your thoughts create your reality. If you don't know how something is going to happen for you, sit and think, the people who have gone here, how did they get there? Sometimes shut up and listen to people talk. Even sometimes bloggers, you know. Oh my God, I just discovered Alia's face and I love her content, and I saw, like, of course I didn't watch her evolve, right, but I went back, saw some of her older videos and saw the different progressions that she has made. And there are people in the world who are constantly moving, and oftentimes if you shut up and listen, they are telling you or showing you how they've done it, ladies. Even at work, sometimes I would talk, you know, yesterday there was a doctor who was, oh my God, I work medical conferences, mainly different conferences, like I could work tech, aviation, whatever, but I'm at a medical conference. Forgive me, I'm talking so fast and now I'm trying to pick up my pace, but I work medical conferences and I randomly stopped a head, like a really big person, I don't want to like give their identity out, a head doctor from like a really big organization, a really big hospital. I casually started a conversation with him and he was just telling me funny random things about his life and so on and forth, and I would just ask him. I didn't realize he was important until the company I was working for was like, oh, Dr. such and such, my name is here, you don't know me, but everyone knows you. And they were saying how he's like a celebrity in the medicine world, you know. I mean, not only him, but there are other really big doctors. It's a medical conference. But I remember when I was talking to him, I don't know, I didn't know he was a part, I didn't know anything about him, and I remember asking him just simple questions like, so what, you know, with everything you've done in your life, would you do it all over again? What would you wish like someone would tell you in your 20s, in your late 20s, or that you would tell yourself? And he was just answering all of those questions. So ladies, sorry, when I'm working, it's sometimes people text me and sometimes it's an emergency, so that's when I'm checking my phone. Ladies, I don't like putting mascara on sometimes, especially when I'm traveling and I'm flying out today. So I'm actually not gonna wear mascara. I know it's crazy, but I don't know, I'm not gonna do it. I think I'm done. Let me just put some highlight on. Today is like a soft beat. And so he was telling me all these things and gems, and there are things that someone who is the head of multi-billions of dollars of organization is having a talk with me. And even better, he doesn't know, I don't know who he is, he doesn't know who I am, so he's able to be genuine and show me things, and I'm able to absorb things that I could never have thought of or absorb, and that I can go on now and create reality and even shape someone else's reality, like I'm talking to you ladies. All right, so ladies, please be mindful and remember that your thoughts shape your reality. Anyone who tries to convince you that you cannot create, design the things that you strive for in life, please take them as a grain of salt. Sometimes people who love you might even try to like protect you or project on you, but if you understand what you are doing, you are going through, you are doing the work, you're reading the books, you're getting the informations. Ladies, your thoughts shape your reality, and don't let anyone dissuade you of such thing. All right, so I don't have too much time for my hair, so I'm just gonna like straighten it a little bit, and just, I don't know, maybe I'll like curl. Oh yeah, I'll straighten like this. I'll do this cycle. I don't usually add this much heat onto my hair, ladies, but it's so humid here in San Francisco, and like no matter what I do, it gets frizzy. So I'm, see, this hair was curly when I went to bed. Curly. But anyway, let me get this chair out of here. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Let me see. I don't like crazy bumps in my hair. Let me do a little bit. I don't want to straighten my leave out just because I've like already added heat to it twice this week. So a little secret, if you don't want to add too much heat to your leave out, let me see if I can open my camera. Secret, if you don't want to add too much heat to your leave out, just drench it in oil. Only if you have natural kinky hair or relaxed hair. If you have fine hair, I'm not sure, that's gonna look greasy. But my hair absorbs oil so much that it will handle it. And it's so humid here that it doesn't matter, right? So just drench it with oil, and then it will stay straight for as much as it can. And it doesn't have to be perfect, ladies. I look good, but all right, let me just, I don't know what's happening with my highlight. Blend, 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 blend. I'm not gonna look like a ghost. Not a ghost. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But ladies, remember, your thoughts shape your reality. Here with the Feminine Takeoff, we take off to better ourselves. Hopefully, I hope to continue this vlog into like a next session. But if I don't, and this is the last part of this video, please remember to make and allow your thoughts to create your reality. If you want a good reality, let your thoughts, let your mind expand, learn, gain your knowledge, sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you want, need, and desire in life, and start aligning yourself with it. All right, ladies, now let me put some here with the Feminine Takeoff. As always, we take off to better ourselves. After seeing my entire outfit, I don't know if I can show you guys, I decided to just change my hairstyle. I don't know if I should. Okay, you know what? I'm actually put it in a bun. Yeah, let's do it. I was gonna do this, but I still like that one either. So ladies, I don't like to do the baby hair thing, but my hair, I do have beady beads sometimes. but I'm not gonna tame my edges because society is telling me I need to like swoop anything. So let me show you my ponytail. That's it. And you know what? I think I'm gonna curl this. I'm gonna take away my natural hair. Yeah. And then I guess I do have to put a little bit of heat. I know this is bad. I'm sorry, baby. I know. Yeah, I like it like this. Yeah, this is much better. Let me show you the outfit. Yeah, it's so simple. It's nothing, but ladies, I've got to go. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll see you guys into the next video. Ciao. Okay, so I just want to put the scarf on, just so that my hair the curl doesn't get ruined during my walk. So, alright ladies, I will see you guys later. I rushed a little bit from getting ready so that I can have this nice peaceful walk, and on my 30-minute lunch break I actually went to church, and now I'm walking back to the convention so I can work, then go pack and go home. Remember when I told you earlier in the video that this wasn't your typical travel with me vlog? It was specifically a travel to work with me vlog. Well, this is the difference. I told you I come to San Francisco 2 to 5 times a year, right? Previously, when I would come to San Francisco, I would do the whole touristy thing. The bridge, the museums, fine dining. There's this amazing Michelin star place here that had the best sushi. So imagine that this is not how much I make. I don't like to talk about how much I make. I will never share that because I believe in financial modesty. But ladies, imagine that you make $2,000. You've traveled for work and you've made $2,000 during the duration of your travels. And imagine that you have spent $1,800 out of those $2,000. That means that you only have had $200 left. That is not profit. And here with the Feminine Takeoff, we think of how to make everything benefit you. So it doesn't benefit you for you to be in a deficit in any way. Not in your romantic life, not in your professional life, and definitely not in your financial life. The first time I was in San Francisco, I did all the fine dining, exploring, enjoyment, but I ended up making about $96 after subtracting all the fun. And ladies, of course, sometimes some of you might say, oh, you can have a guy pay for everything. And of course, I am not a 50-50 woman. The men in my life always take care of things. But sometimes I also, especially when I'm single, I want to enjoy my life, my time, without some guy breathing down my neck because he is paying for something. It's important for you to make profit no matter what you're doing and where you're taking yourself. That is why this is not a travel vlog. This is a travel for work vlog. By the way, I am smiling this hard because of your YouTube comments. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, for commenting. You ladies have been amazing. Thank you so much for being on this femininity journey with me, with us together. So back to what I was saying, ladies. Your femininity requires financial stability, as it is one of the pillars for sanity and to maintain your femininity. Not to be girly and excited and just run around chasing boys or men or whatsoever, but having a stable life, having a life where no one can dictate what you are doing because you are financially stable, because you are emotionally stable. That is feminine. That is important in order to be feminine, ladies. And what a beautiful city, ladies. What an amazing city to make and gain money, to gain self-sovereignty. Look how beautiful. Anyway, ladies, it's been so nice chatting with you. I am at the airport now. Let me grab some sushi to eat and head on the flight and hopefully go home soon. Doesn't this drawing remind you of a Studio Ghibli movie? And ladies, please forgive me. I didn't vlog me going out with my friends during this trip because also sometimes when I go to company dinners or just friendships, I want to be discreet. I enjoy my friendships and interactions to be intimate, and discretion is so important, especially because this is a femininity channel. It is designed to be elegant, graceful, and ladylike. Of course, we bring our personalities. You all see how playful, silly, serious, and so many other dynamic things I am. Yet, privacy and respect for myself and those around me is important. Thank you so much for watching me here with the Feminine Takeoff. As always, we take off to better ourselves. I'm home, let's shower and go to bed. Thanks for watching.